Hey friends, it's Lisa here with another edition of Make a Difference Monday. Now, you may have noticed that I've been a little quiet lately, and there's a reason for that. It seems that over the last 2 weeks, life has been lifing and death has been deathing. And quite frankly, I wasn't sure that I could come on here and keep it together. Still might not be able to, so you've been warned. Um, but I just wanted to come on and share a little bit about what I've learned over the past couple of weeks in terms of when death maybe has some lessons that we can learn to make even a bigger difference in how we live our lives. So I just want to share a couple of those with you. If you've been on my page at all, you've seen that 2 weeks ago, nearly 2 weeks ago, my husband Jeremy actually passed away. And that was hard. Now, for those of you who have been, with me on this journey, you know that things hadn't been easy for a while. For about the past year and a half or 2 years, things hadn't been easy. And this was kind of another step in that. But what I wanted to share today was not so much the hard stuff, but the opportunities to grow in the process and the things that I've actually had the chance to learn. When we first started dating, I was not that big of a country music fan, I will admit. But when I look back, it's like our relationship has played out in Tim McGraw songs. So today I just want to share like these 3 Tim McGraw songs that kind of, from the beginning to now the end, have kind of been guides in a way in our relationship. When we first started dating, he decided that Shotgun Rider was our song. He liked the song, he liked the lyrics, I liked the song, so that was kind of our song in the beginning, and really sweet and fun. And there was so much love there, still so much love there. As I mentioned, over time, things became a little bit more challenging. And even through the challenges, the love was never gone. I mean, the love was always there. But what I found is that as he was going through the dying process and then in death, it's like the song shifted from Shotgun Rider to Tim McGraw's Humble and Kind. That was actually one of his very favorite songs. And it seems that there's so many opportunities to learn from that song, especially in how we process and manage death and the people close to us dying. Because the truth is, we all experience death. We all do. Death happens around us. Nobody gets out of here without having somebody that we care about die, or without us dying, obviously. So death happens. And how we manage it, both for ourselves and in relationship and interactions with other people, matters too. And so the song Humble and Kind just seems to have guided a lot of how I tried to show up in this process. The first thing that I saw is that grief is weird. I mean, grief is just weird. And the truth is, we all grieve in different ways and at different times and in our own way, in our own style, and it can take us by surprise. And I think that's the part that I found most challenging. I had already grieved our relationship a couple different times, but yet here at the end, the death, the grief was still so present and so much there. And sometimes there are some of us who try to be strong for everybody else and not give ourselves really an opportunity to grieve until it's a completely inappropriate time, or the most random things will, cause the waterworks to flow and, all the memories and everything else. And that's okay. That's okay. We all grieve differently on our own timeline. And the idea that time heals all wounds, I'm starting to believe, is kind of crap. That grief might take place for the rest of life. And if that's the case, that's okay too. But because everybody grieves differently, one of the things that is important is to let other people have their process, to not think that their grief needs to look any particular way, but actually to honor that they are hopefully doing the best they can with where they are, and to honor that, even if it might not be the way that we grieve. So one of the ways we can be humble and kind is to actually allow others to grieve according to what feels right for them. Sometimes challenging situations, people look to see how they can make the challenge easier or make the situation better. And especially, when we're talking a death type situation, for all of those of you who do that, I just want to say thank you. That's incredibly humble and kind too, for everyone who has reached out to the family, to me, to share, your love, your prayers, your thoughts, your concerns, to just ask, hey, how you doing? Or how about carnitas? Any of that. I just want you to know how genuinely much that is appreciated. I know when I see, that other people have passed away that are close to people I care about, I always encourage and hope that they find peace and that happy memories long live on through them. And that's something that I've really tried to hold to through this process, is how can we find a sense of peace in the process? Both inner peace, but also external peace as well. That is so important to me. And I think a kindness that we can offer ourselves and to others is to just try to hold space for that peace, and to make that peace, within our own hearts and then within our own minds matter, even when it's hard. And sometimes that means doing things that we need to do to honor where we are and to honor and create space for that peace, but also to try to be a source of peace for others, not a source of the opposite of peace, by trying to make a challenging situation easier, not harder. So grief is weird. It looks different for everyone. We can try to honor the peace and the happy memories. Also, from this humble and kind idea, we can choose to focus on the love. We can choose to focus on the love instead of the hurts, focus on the love instead of the resentments, the love instead of the lack of forgiveness. We can choose to focus on the love and all the good, happy memories, the good stuff that, that those memories still remain, those feelings, here it comes, still remain. So we can choose that. That's a choice we get to make. And in doing so, in my opinion, that's one of the kindest things that we can do for other people and also for ourselves, is to choose to focus on the good stuff. All right, I'm getting it back together. The other thing is to not blame ourselves for how things turn out, right? To not blame ourselves for other people's conditions, things like that. Because the truth is, we can play the woulda, shoulda, coulda game all day long, and it's not going to bring people back. It's not going to make a condition better. And so we can sit around beating ourselves up, thinking that we should have been able to change something or encouraged a different outcome. And the truth is, it wasn't in our hands. And it's kind of the exact opposite of being humble, to think that we have that much power, to think that we could somehow come in and omnipotently just shift everything and change the outcome. We can't do that for other people. We can't do that for other people. We can choose how we show up. We can choose the decisions we make. We can choose, if we decide to choose love, we can choose all kinds of reactions for ourselves. But when we start blaming ourselves for the outcomes or actions or whatever of other people, that's out of, that's something that's just so totally, completely not helpful. And so I encourage, one of the things I've learned through this death process is that that we don't have to go there, that we don't have to go there. And quite frankly, not only is it not humble to think that we could have changed something for someone else, but it's not kind to ourselves either. It's just not kind. So going from shotgun rider to humble and kind, now I'm going to close with yet another Tim McGraw song that has been on my mind recently, and that is simply the song, the idea around the song, Live Like You're Dying. Because if nothing else, this entire process has taught me, man, time is short. Jeremy used to tease me about being a cougar because I was a whopping 8 months older than he was. But he is young. He's young. And we don't know when our time is up. We don't know. And so we have an opportunity every single day to step up and to lean into life, to do those things that set our soul on fire, that make our soul sing. We have an opportunity to show up and contribute in the world in a way that truly is driven by the very essence of who we are and why we're here, instead of playing small and being scared. And man, if nothing else, I'm in on that. I am in on that. I am tired of holding back. I'm tired of thinking when the bank account's full, when I drop 50 pounds, when all these conditions are perfect, after the memorial service, after whatever, sometime in the future, that's when I'm going to start living. Screw that. Screw that. Now, granted, unlike the song, probably not going to be jumping out of airplanes anytime soon or riding a bull named Fu Manchu. We'll do some Rocky Mountain climbing. But the point is, our time is right now. This is the time that we've got. And if we're going to step truly into our real potential, if we are going to step truly into why our soul even wanted to come to this earth and live this life at this time, knowing it was going to be hard, knowing that life on earth is tough, then man, let's make the most of it. Let's step in, let's lean in, knowing that when we truly align in that way, when we really step into our potential, that's our way to be of greatest service in the world. That's our way to connect with and really honor the divine. That's our way to help our soul grow the most. And the more we sit back and wait for some perfect tomorrow that's never freaking gonna exist, because the perfect tomorrow is not there. The only perfect time to do things that matter is right freaking now. It's right now. That's when our power moment is. And if this death process has taught me anything, it's to take advantage of that, to make the most of the time that we have right now, to live into the life we want to live into, and to make the difference that we truly want to make in this world. So, life and death through Tim McGraw. It's been a challenge the past couple weeks. I'm not going to lie. I genuinely appreciate everyone who has reached out. Your kindness is very much appreciated. I send huge love to the rest of Jeremy's family and to all of his friends, colleagues, former coworkers, the people who cared about him and through whom his happy memories and legacy will live on as well. But I just want to encourage, think about where you want to be and stop waiting to get there. Even one step today is going to bring you closer to wherever that there is. And maybe you're already there. And if so, great. That means you've already jumped on the present moment and made the most of it at some point. But if anything, this whole process has told me grief is weird. Hold on to the love, because that's honestly the only thing that matters. All the stuff that stands in the way of love, none of that at the end of the day even freaking matters. None of it does. The love is what matters. To the extent that we can be humble and kind to others through difficult times, and also to ourselves, that's important. We can't change outcomes for other people, and we can live like we're dying, and we can choose to start doing so right now, today, and start making our difference in an even bigger way by doing that. So you're going to be hearing a lot more from me, a lot bolder, possibly a little brazen, because that's how I'm feeling right now. But yeah, it's time to step up, to lean in, to be of greater service, by quit screwing around and waiting for some perfect future that's never going to exist. Because right now is the perfect time to make the future even better. So I hope you have a fantastic week. Go out and make your difference. It matters.